Hey everybody, this is Jam and welcome back to another video. Today we are playing some Clash Royale and, well, I mean we're not really playing Clash Royale, I'm talking about Clash Royale, which is slightly different, but you get the idea. Anyway, today I will be going over the balance changes that were released earlier on, or rather yesterday I guess, if I'm going to upload this at the time at which I think I'm going to upload it, which is slightly later than I would want to, but I'm lazy. Anyway, we're going to be talking about the balance changes, and I'm going to talk about each individual card and say whether I think it needs a nerf, a buff, or if it's balanced. I'm going to do it in the order that you see here, so like from left to right, going all the way down, ending off with the legendaries that I don't have, because yeah. Anyway, on with the video. Okay, so first off, mirror. I don't think this needs any changes. It's pretty good. It's not too overpowered. It's a mirror. It doesn't need changing, let's be real here. Ice Spirit, don't think it needs any changes. It's pretty good. Skeletons. I feel like 3 isn't powerful enough, but then people are thinking that 4 is too powerful, so honestly, I'm just gonna leave that one too. Log, I think, is good where it's at. Zap, also think it's good where it's at. Rage, I think it needs a buff. No one really likes it, and like, I don't know how you would buff it, to be honest, because like, there's really no way to buff it, but it needs more usage, really. Bats, I think, are perfect the way they are. Like, I don't have any quarrel with them. Ice Golem is also okay. I don't think he needs a buff or a nerf right now. Fire spirits aren't really used that often, but I don't think they really need a buff or nerf because of the furnace. I'll talk about that later. Spear goblins, well, they're getting a buff and they needed the buff, so kinda got that one out of the way. Stab goblins, they're good too. I don't think they're in need of anything. Mega minion is really good too. I don't think it needs a buff or a nerf. I mean, these first couple, like, I don't really care about. It's like, the farther we go down, the more there are that I'll say stuff about. Goblin Gang, it's getting the buff because of the spear goblins, but other than that, it's perfect. Like, I have no quarrel with it. Minions, I don't know. They don't really need anything either. Clone, yeah, clone's fine too. Tornado, I think Tornado is kind of fine as well. Like, it's annoying, but there's no real way to. I don't think it's like in need of a buff or a nerf. Goblin Barrel, I think they should go back to the old Goblin Barrel where it dies to zap, because like Goblin Barrel is so overpowered after that. It's not right. Arrows need a buff. They are not used often enough. They need a buff. Tombstone, I feel like it needs a buff as well because no one really uses it. I'm not like suggesting how you should buff or nerf them, but I just giving my opinion based on how often I see them and like how powerful they are. Skeleton Army, I think it's perfect. I love Skeleton Army. Facing it's no problem, using it's no problem, it's great. Bomber needs a buff. Nobody uses Bomber. Let's be real here. The only time I ever see Bomber used is because of a meme that I have with my friend group, where there's one guy that's like, oh my god, Bomber is god, and then he kind of forces everyone to use Bomber, so yeah, I think Bomber needs some love, and I think he agrees too. Cannon, I don't see used often enough. I think it should get a buff, to be honest. Maybe give it like a damage or a health buff. I know I said I wouldn't like suggest things, but I mean, that's, yeah. Bandit needs a nerf. After they gave it extra dash time, or rather faster dash time, it's gotten really good, and it's really good, and it needs a nerf, because like, if you don't get your troop down in time, it's on your tower. Like, it's kind of really good. You should see, I used the bandit mirror clone, it destroys things. Funny story, or did I show this in the video? Actually, I might have showed it in the video, never mind. Basically, me and my friend killed a golem just using bandits and clone bandits. It was really good. Heal, this is a tricky one. I think it needs a buff because I think it was Clash with Ash that suggested this, but it should be just like instant heal instead of like healing over a certain amount of seconds, because I feel like that would be like better. I don't know, that's my opinion. Dark Goblin is fine, Miner is fine, Archers are fine, Knight is great, it doesn't need anything. Princess is okay. Guards need a buff, they need a buff really badly. Like, no one uses guards, mine are still level 3. Funny story, I had my super magical chest recently and I didn't get a legendary and I got guards, so yeah. Furnace. I freaking hate Furnace, it's so annoying. Mine's only level 5, I never use it, but like, I hate Furnaces. I don't really think that they need like a nerf, it's just, I hate Furnaces. Like, when they're like the same level, like when the fire spirits are this, like when they get one shot by your tower, it's fine, but when they're not, it's just a pain. I would say it needs a nerf, but I mean, I think that's just me being butthurt over the fact that I hate it. So yeah, Valkyrie we've seen is getting a buff. I think that's needed because, like, while I do see Valkyrie a fair bit, I don't think, like, not one-shotting a princess isn't okay, and honestly that'll make it better against E-Barbs, which I'll talk about later. Hog, it doesn't need a direct nerf, but the way to fix this is to fix the overleveling problem. I'll talk about that after I've gone through everything. Dark Prince, I think it's shield, no, nah, I guess. Dark Prince is okay, I mean, I think it needs a buff, but I'm not exactly sure how you would buff it. I don't really know. I think it needs a buff, because it's not getting a lot of love right now. Fireball is perfect. Tesla. I don't know what to think about the Tesla buff, because it might make, like, I think Tesla needed that buff. It did need that buff, but I don't know if that was the buff it needed. It might work, it might not. I guess we'll see whenever the balance changes come out. Mini P.E.K.K.A, perfect. Freeze, perfect. Lumberjack. Lumberjack's okay. I mean, it's not that bad. Battle Ram, I feel like it needs a bit of a buff, like a tiny buff, because it doesn't connect to your tower like at all anymore. Like, since the bridge spam days, it's just not as good. Mortar, I haven't seen any mortar. Like, even since the siege buff, I haven't seen like all that much mortar. In fact, I haven't seen like even expo since the siege nerf or buff. What am I saying? Poison is perfect. Musketeer, I feel like Musketeer needs a tiny buff because she's not used all that often. Ewiz, this is the one I've wanted to talk about. I love Ewiz. It's like my favorite card, like, ever, but I can see why they nerf it, because like it does have a really high usage rate and it's really good. But I also think it was fine the way it was, because I have no trouble countering Ewiz. Like, it's fine. But it's just, I love Ewiz. I don't like to see it nerfed, but I can understand why they would nerf it. I have no, like, if he wasn't getting nerfed, I would say he's okay. Like, but Supercell's decision. Flying Machine needs a buff badly. Flying Machine, I actually unlocked it in the challenge, which is surprising because I suck at challenges. Flying Machine needs a buff. It's not good. Like, for 4 elixir, this thing should have, it should cost 3. Like, it should cost 3. That's the buff I'm suggesting, because, like, it's like a Dark Goblin, basically. It just doesn't have any health. It has decent damage, but, like, it should cost 3 elixir, in my opinion. That's just me. Night Witch, I think it might need like a tiny buff, but other than like that, it's pretty good all around. Baby Dragon needs a buff. Nick at Night loves him. I kind of like him because of Nick at Night, but like, it needs a buff. Its damage isn't amazing. Its health is okay, but its damage isn't amazing. Goblin Hut, it got nerfed, or buffed because of the Spear Goblin buff, so I guess we'll see about that one. Cannon Cart, it also got some love in the balance changes, but I don't think increasing the hit points is going to do all that much. Like, I don't think that was the right way to buff it, but I guess we'll see. Graveyard, it needed the buff that it got, and I think they did a good job on that one, because I can actually upgrade my Graveyard. I need to remember that. Sidetracked. Graveyard, nerfing it in the way they did before just wasn't good. Like, that killed the card, basically. Adding it back with less randomness is a lot. Like, they're finally listening to everyone saying just get rid of the randomness. Like, it's that simple. I think they did a good job with the buff on the Graveyard. I think it'll be okay now. Although, I mean, maybe it won't, but I guess we'll see. Prince needs a buff. It's not used, really. I see it like once a week, maybe, if that. It needs a buff. Wizard is fine the way it is. Giant is fine the way it is. Inferno Tower, I've seen a lot of people complaining about Inferno Tower, but I don't see what you're complaining about. It's not, like, it's easily countered and really good for defending. Honestly, it's like it's my favorite building. I only use Inferno Tower. I don't use any other building. It's that good. Bomb Tower needs a buff. Bomb Tower just does not get used at all. I see Prince once a week. I see Bomb Tower once a month. It's just not used enough. Bowler. I don't see Bowler that often. Like, it's not a highly used card, but I think it's kind of balanced the way it is right now. I like Bowler, like, as a card. I don't use it, but, like, I like how it is right now. I don't think they need any changes there. Witch, I think, is okay. She doesn't really need anything. Barbarians need a buff. They don't get... Well, I see them, like, every now and again. Like, they're not that uncommon, but I think they need a bit of a buff. Like, compared to E-Barbs, they're, like, nah. Balloon, I think, is fine the way it is right now. Minion Horde, I think it's okay too. It's easily countered, but if you can use it right, then it is really good. So, yeah, that Minion Horde's perfect the way it is. Executioner, this one's a tricky one. A lot of people are saying that it's okay. A lot of people are saying that it needs a nerf. I personally think that it's okay. It might need a slight nerf, but I think it's fine the way it is right now. Expo, I think it's fine. I don't see it that often, and I'd rather keep it that way because I don't really like Expo, but to be honest, going on usage rate, it probably needs a buff, but going on what I'm thinking, that's fine. Rocket, I think that's fine, it doesn't need anything. Pump is also fine. Lightning, that nerf to lightning, that took me by surprise. I didn't expect that at all. I don't know about this, but at the same time, I kind of agree with it, because Golem Lightning is really strong. Like, there's not a lot of things that can counter that, unless you're, like, a really good player, in which case, I mean, it might have been fine, but, you know, that's just my opinion. I don't know about that. I think it was a good nerf, but I guess, again, we'll see when the changes come out and we can see it to its full effect. Royal Giant, this is a tough one. That deploy time was the perfect nerf for it. Like, it was a nerf in some ways and a buff in others. I think they did that good, but again, just the overleveling problem is really what's causing this. E-Barbs, I think they need a tiny nerf, like a tiny one, but again, the main problem is overleveling, which I will talk about at the end. We're not that far away. Giant skeleton, I think it probably needs a buff, because, like, I do see it used a lot, but, like, I don't know, it just doesn't seem... Pairing it with a tornado is really good, but, I don't know, I think it might need a small buff. The bar pot needs a buff, like, again, with the it'll get buffed with the barbarians, but it needs a buff, because no one uses it. It costs 7 elixir, that's a lot. I just think it needs a buff. P.E.K.K.A, I think it's good the way it is. I don't really see any change needed here. P.E.K.K.A isn't supposed to really get on the tower that often, so I mean, making it stronger doesn't make all that much sense to me. That's just me personally. Golem kinda got a nerf in the form of the lightning nerf, but other than that, it's fine. I don't have any problems with Golem. 3 musketeers. I don't know, it doesn't really need anything at the moment. I'm happy with it. It's annoying, don't get me wrong, but I don't see any way I could nerf or buff it, so I think it's okay. Alright, now down to the cards I don't have, which, I mean, I don't have much of an opinion on a lot of the cards, but most of these are meh. Ice Wizard, I think it needs a little bit more of a buff. The buff that it got earlier was good, but I don't think it was enough. It does have a high usage rate, but I don't think it really got what it needed. It needs a little bit more. Inferno Dragon I'm happy with. It's not too overpowered. It's hard to counter on your opponent's side of the arena, but like on yours it's really easy to counter if it's on its own, obviously. Sparky, this is the one I wanted to talk about. Sparky, everyone's been complaining about Sparky being, like, not great. I despise Sparky, but even I think it needed a buff, because you cannot get Sparky to work at all. It needed a buff, but I don't think that the buff that they gave it was exactly what it needed. I don't know. I don't know how they would, like, change Sparky, but I don't think they did the right thing here. But it did need the buff. It definitely did. Sparky just isn't that good. It needed the buff. I don't think it got the buff that it needed, but it definitely needed the buff, and the fact that they're giving it attention is a good sign for Sparky, and I think there's just going to be a lot of testing with Sparky, but I don't know, we'll see. Lava Hound, it's fine the way it is. Mega Knight, this one I've also wanted to talk about. A lot of people say it's overpowered, and then a lot of other people say that it's perfect. Me personally, I think it's a little bit of both. If you have the right counters for it, then it's fine, but like, for example, my current deck is this one. This is the deck that I like use a lot. My only real counter to Mega Knight is the Inferno, and I don't know, it's a really strong card, and it's like, I feel like it doesn't need a nerf, but it is really strong. Like, it is really strong. In fact, I'm actually looking for it right now in my shop. I've got Inferno Dragon today, but I'm not going to be buying that, mainly because I don't have enough gold, but still. Anyway, sidetracked. I don't think they need to change Mega Knight. It's easy to counter if you know how, but like, some people might struggle to counter it. It depends on your deck, really. Like, if you're running a hog deck like me, it's kind of overpowered, but like against, I don't know, Lavaloon, it's pretty useless. Like, kinda. Well, I mean, it's not useless, but it's like not as effective. The main thing about it is that it crushes pretty much like half of the ground pushes in the game. Like, oh, you have a golem with like 5 things behind it, drop a Mega Knight, dead. Pretty much, like, that's how it goes. But yeah, that's all the cards that well, not all the cards that I wanted to talk about, it's all the cards that are currently in the game, so... Alright, now I'm going to talk about the overleveling problem, because I think the answer is kinda obvious. I mean, I can see if they don't want to do this, like, kinda see reasons why, but what I think they should do to solve the overleveling problem is to add card limits to the arenas. Now, what do I mean by that? So, say I have my hog at level 8, and if I set, say, tournament standard being, say, around, let's see. Now, here's a good example. If I set the, how do I say this properly? For the first couple of arenas, it doesn't matter too much, like, whatever. But then as you get higher in the arenas, like, overleveling becomes a real problem. So say you can set a limit. So this is just an example, setting level 5 commons to be the limit at Arena 5. Now, that might seem like shit, like, oh, you can't upgrade your cards then, it's only level 5, that's kind of shit. What I'm suggesting is that, like, people have level like 12 and 13 E-barbs. Like, that's, it kind of sucks, and no one likes them. But what I'm suggesting is have a level cap at each arena, but you can level up your cards, like, outside of the arena. You can have your cards at level 13, but say, for example, if the limit for the level at Hog Mountain is level 10 commons, so if you have your E-barbs at level 12, when you're in level arena 10, it'll drop down to level 10. So I'm terrible at explaining things. Basically, if you're in Hog Mountain, your E-barbs are level 12, like, in your profile, but when you go into a battle in Hog Mountain, they'll be level 10. And then once you progress, you can use level 11 E-barbs. Once you progress farther up the challenges, you can use level 12, and so on. That's kinda what I'm suggesting. So, Hog is another one. Level 9 Hogs are a problem. If you set level 8 to be the, minimum... Well, no, not minimum, maximum level at Hog Mountain, you will only come across level 8 hogs. You can only use level 8 hogs. That kinda sorts like most of the problems they were talking about, I think, because it's like, even if it fixes the problem right away, because like they don't have to like fix like E-barbs, like it won't take time to come into effect. It'll come into effect right away. Everyone's E-barbs are going to be level 12, but when they're in Hog Mountain, level 10. Sorted. That's kinda how I think this should go. I don't know, like, they're probably not going to see, like, no, Supercell's not going to see this video, like, realistically, I don't think they're going to see this, but if they do, I think they should give this a try, like, even just test it, because, I don't know, this seems to solve most of the problems, like, oh, what about all the people that already have level 12s, like, it doesn't matter then, because the cap for this is 10. Over here, your barbs are still level 12, but when you go into a battle in Hog Mountain, they're level 10. Like, I don't know, that seems to solve the problem for me. Like, I don't know if there's, like, other problems, but that's, like, the main one I've heard. I'm rambling at this stage, but I'm just going to keep going. Basically, yeah, do that, and, like, set, like, different limits for, like, commons, epics, and rares. So that way, like, say if you get up to, like, Master 1, you can use maxed cards from Master 1 on. That's just an example, that's not actually, like, a suggestion. I have no idea how, like, they would distribute this. I just think this is just the idea I'm going for. I don't know, again, don't know how they would, like, distribute the card levels. It's just, this is how I think it should go. Like, I mean, I see this as a decent idea. I don't see why this wouldn't be good. That's just me being, like, proud of my idea, though. Anyway, that's pretty much it. That's how I would fix the overleveling problem. I'm not a member of Supercell. I can't say, oh, do this, because, I mean, I'm just a small YouTuber with no life, so... I mean, chances of them watching this are, like, 1 in a quadrillion, if that, but... hey, you never know. Things have happened. But, I think that's really all I need to talk about regarding this. Let me just think. Let me think of like a different problem. I'll cut this out. So levels, King Tower level. It would also help with the King Tower level, because if you have a level 11 versus a level 10, their only advantage then, realistically, would be their their King Tower level. Like, say I'm at like this arena, like it's 10, 8, 4, and 1, or well, not 1, 2. No, maybe not 2. For legendaries, I'd say 3. 3 would be the max, because legendaries aren't like, obviously, like legendaries. I don't think even legendaries need a cap, to be honest. Like, well, I mean, I guess they could have one, but you get the idea. Basically, say I have like 10, 8, 4, and 3, maybe 5 and 5 and 3. So say like both players have those guard levels. Like the level 11 will have slightly higher card levels, but they'll be dropped down. So literally the only like advantage the level 11 has over the level 10 is the King Tower. So I think that's good as well. It makes things more fair in a way. So yeah, that's another thing that I've thought of. Like, I think this fixes it. There's probably 500,000 problems that I'm not thinking of with this idea, but I mean, it's a suggestion. They don't have to take me up for it. Anyway, that'll do for today. This went on for a lot longer than I planned, but yeah, I guess that happens when I have an idea that's kind of good in my eyes. But anyway, I'm ranting at this stage. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a like, leave a comment down below if you have any thoughts, subscribe for more, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.